New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. A Wichita Falls woman is jailed on a $25,000 bond for allegedly attempting to rob a gas station on Central Freeway Friday night. Aaliyah Turner is charged with robbery at the Inara Mart at 1135 Central Freeway. When police arrived at the robbery call at about 9:30 p.m., the clerk was outside pointing at the suspect in front of him. He told officers that Turner came into the store and told him, quote, "Give me all of your money now." When he declined to give her the money, that's when Turner began throwing everything within arm's reach at him. Then they got into a physical confrontation and Turner started punching him in the face with her fist multiple times. He stated that he finally dragged her out of the store onto the parking lot. Officers state that Turner admitted to trying to rob and fight the clerk, saying, quote, "I didn't mean to, but I told him I was robbing him." The clerk told police that he never saw a weapon during the confrontation. The woman was arrested early Monday following a fight at a Warren bar. Kelly Daniels, age 37, of Warren, is facing charges of felonious assault and DV. According to a police report, Daniels attacked a woman, hit a man with a cue stick, and threw billiard balls at people inside of the Alexis Cafe on North Park Avenue. Police were called to the bar at around 2:04 a.m., where they talked to the victims. A man told police that Daniels hit him with a cue stick, which cut his eye and broke his glasses. A woman stated that she was sitting at the bar eating cheese sticks when Daniels grabbed her by the hair and pulled her off the bar stool and punched her in the face. Police noted the cuts and the bruising on both victims. Two other men also stated that Daniels attacked them as well. And according to the police report, Daniels was romantically involved with one of the victims and was angry that he was there with another woman. Police state that a Louisville woman met a man on a dating app before she and two others carjacked the victim and drove away. According to court documents, 20-year-old Mackenzie Ezel and the victim met on the online dating app before meeting in person in Cincinnati. On Saturday, the victim agreed to drive Ezel home from Louisville, but the victim stated that they arrived around 5 p.m. at an alley in the 600 block of South 40th Street near River Park Drive in the Shawnee neighborhood. That's when Ezel reportedly pulled a weapon and demanded that he turn off the car. Two other men, both armed, got into the car at the same time. The suspects then drove the victim to the intersection of Duncan Street and North Shawnee Terrace before making him get out. That's when the victim called police. Just before 9 p.m., police state that they saw Ezel driving a stolen vehicle wearing the same clothes the victim described her wearing during the robbery. She was arrested and allegedly admitted to the crime. She's charged with first-degree robbery. There are no words on the identity or the statuses of the other two suspects.
Say the suspect showed up here to Lockley Elementary School after an incident involving a friend's child. Officers say when she got here on Monday, she started yelling she was going to blow up the school. Police say Messiah Brewer also threatened to assault security staff. The suspect was then escorted out of the school and drove backwards from the building while speeding before Newcastle officers arrived. But shortly after, police did find Brewer when she started to drive towards the school again and stopped her vehicle. According to officers, Brewer became disorderly during the traffic stop and was placed under arrest. Police say Brewer is facing multiple charges, including terroristic threats and harassment. Right now, she's being held at the Lawrence County Jail on a $100,000 bond.
On Sunday, February 20th at 6:09 p.m., police stopped and arrested a woman at the cross of S. 3rd Street and Mitchell Road, who was said to be driving under the influence. Three officers were on the scene of an active three-vehicle crash on S. 3rd Street going north towards West Mitchell Road. After blocking off all southbound traffic and taping off the accident scene, officers observed a maroon Audi Q5 with expired drive-out tags and tinted windows drive directly through the barricaded area and braking caution tape. Officers approached and asked the driver, Taylor Hardy, to exit the vehicle. Hardy refused, which prompted officers to assist her out of the car. Once out of the vehicle, officers stated that they smelled alcohol on Hardy's breath, and they also reported that she was not able to walk upright, causing her to stumble. The affidavit stated that Hardy was combative, making several threats to officers on the scene. Hardy was then detained in the back of the police car while the officers searched her vehicle. The officers reported they have found an open bottle of disbelief tequila, 40% alcohol, and 3 packs of THC gummy candies in Hardy's back seat. Hardy was taken into custody for DUI and she was transported to Austin Pay Police Station. 3 different sobriety tests were performed once Hardy arrived at the police station, and she failed each test. Hardy also gave officers and on-site nurse the consent to draw her blood. Hardy was then transported to Jail East.
Jamila White is the woman you see walking out to face a judge after police say she put her children in danger by lighting fires in their Avondale apartment.
City's asking for a high bond in this case. Remember, there were 3 children in the apartment under the age of 18. Ms. White blocked access to the apartment to police and fire.
According to the police report, all 3 children are Whites. The 23-year-old's criminal history before this weekend consists of only traffic violations. Now she's added 3 first-degree misdemeanor charges for child endangering.
Caller states they can see flames, self-smoke coming from the 2nd floor. Fire alarm is sounding in the background.
That's a call that went out to firefighters who arrived on the scene to find the doors of White's apartment locked.
She's burning more stuff, and she opened up the front balcony door, and there's some smoke coming out of the door, pretty decent smoke. The cop's waiting on his sergeant coming from Seymour. I was thinking about just wanting to pop in the door. The neighbor said she's got a couple kids in there.
Police and fire eventually forced their way in, and according to CPD's report, all 3 children, ages 2, 4, and 8, were taken to Cincinnati Children's Hospital, 2 with possible internal injuries and 1 with minor injuries.
We got in here, and she was burning paper and like some kind of pan, and then she burned a book. The cops took her in custody. They're taking care of the kids.
Toulouse police arrested a woman Wednesday afternoon following a hit and run near North Lewis and Gilcrease Expressway. Officers stated that Alexis Porter crashed her vehicle and then ran away from the scene. Police quickly found her, even though she initially gave them a fake name. Porter admitted to the hit and run and told officers that there was PCP in the vehicle. Police were able to confirm and found that PCP were indeed in the car. She claimed that PCP belonged to her grandmother and that she was returning them to her grandmother's drug dealer when she crashed. Porter also admitted that the brakes in the car did not work as well. No one was injured in the crash. Porter was arrested and booked into the Toulouse County Jail for hit and run, trafficking PCP, possession of marijuana, false impersonation, and multiple traffic violations, including speeding and driving with a suspended license, and more. St. Louis woman Zaya D. Wooten, age 18, has been taken into custody after she allegedly stole a car in Hannibal. On February 11th, a woman reported her vehicle, purse, and keys had been stolen while she was inside of a business on the 300 block of Broadway. Police believe that Wooten had been in the business prior to the thievery. Police reported the vehicle had been found abandoned on MO 79 by Rails County deputies on February 12th. Police stated that an hour after the vehicle was located, an off-duty officer saw Wooten in the 1200 block of Broadway. According to HPD, Wooten headbutted an officer in the process of being taken into custody. The victim's items were found in Wooten's possession. HPD also stated that Wooten was in possession of a stolen iPhone from Hannibal Walmart. Wooten is lodged in Marion County Jail. Has been arrested during a smash and grab robbery at a suburban Chicago Neiman Marcus store. The DuPage County State's Attorney's Office stated Monday that Terry Collins of Chicago was charged with burglary and retail theft. Several people cut security wires off of high-end coats Saturday afternoon in the Oakbrook store, grabbed coats, and attempted to flee. The state's attorney's office states that Collins was arrested after a security guard knocked coats and wire cutters from her hands. Additional coats were recovered outside of the store. Police report provided new information on detailing a family disturbance and the arrest of two women in North Las Vegas on Friday, January 21st, for the home burglary and the harming of a partially blind elder woman in her 70s. Mother Lenora Richard and her daughter, Latoya Walker, arrived unannounced at the victim's home on the 1100th block of Reynolds Avenue at around 5:30 p.m. and were trying to change the locks on one of the front doors. When the victim asked the suspects to leave multiple times, they pushed her and made their way into the home. The victim told police that Richard then began to pull her hair, scratch her, and then harm her in the face before the woman left with a safe and additional property. Richard also went into a room and took a dresser drawer containing 3 old wallets inside, but the wallets did not contain any money. According to the report, neither Richard or Walker lived at the residence. A third suspect was helping the two women change the locks and left the residence when they did. He is still at large and has been described as a 5'10" black male around 170 pounds, clean shaven, and with a bald head. Walker later came back to the residence while police were present, telling them that she came to the house to grab some things and brought a locksmith with her because the locks to the house had recently been changed. Police later made contact with Richard, who confirmed that they had bought a locksmith to change the locks and open the front door. When police were still conducting their investigation, Richard left the scene and returned about 30 minutes later. She was placed under arrest when police officers heard banging from inside of the patrol vehicle and saw Richard sticking both of her feet out of the door. When they asked her to put her feet back inside of the car, she refused. She was charged with resisting a public officer. Both women were transported to North Las Vegas Community Correctional Center. Richards faces charges of the following: residential burglary, battery/victim older person, conspiracy burglary, disturbing the peace, resisting a public officer. Walker faces residential burglary, battery/victim older person, and conspiracy burglary. You know what? I'm not even going to get into the normal because it doesn't get me anywhere. This is a message specifically to black men. This is just a sample, right, of a great deal of the many of crimes and various things that have taken place by the women that you were clearly able to see in front of you. The main thing that I would tell you as a man is to be very careful with the women that you decide to procreate with. In a sense, which I know is impossible for adults, right? Abstain, right, from actually um having relations with a person that can inevitably, right, end up producing a child, right, which can inevitably have you attached to a person pretty much for life, which can inevitably potentially ruin your life because you're making the wrong selection in women. And there are quite an abundance of them out there that you could see that would be the wrong selection for you. And if you would want to save your life, right? If you would want to save yourself the headache, if you would want to save yourself some money, just look at the women that you see here. Look at the examples that is given, right? And just think to yourself, where would you be, right? Where would your finances be, right? Where would your life be if you ended up formulating a bond with any of these women? If you ended up dating or marrying any of these women? The main thing that I've stated to people before is that you can't save people unless people want to be saved, which means that they have to initially save themselves first. None of these women here, none of these examples here are trying to save themselves. They're on a road to self destruction. And anybody that is close or near to them will be caught up in the radius when everything goes off. That's why with the last story, I made sure to make that the last story because you had both a mother and you had a daughter who were a part of committing a crime. So this is when I sit up there and tell people that if you have kids out here, right, and they're performing certain types of crimes, who is specifically teaching them how to operate and commit these crimes? But like I said, I digress, because people don't want to listen, and people don't want to pay attention to the obvious, and people will continue to deflect. So, yet again, specifically as I am saying, black men, you have to be very mindful of the women that you deal with. Be very mindful. You have a lot of women out here, like my mom taught me. You have a lot of women out here who are two-faced, right? They will present you one thing, but their actions will speak vastly differently, right? And you have a lot of women out here who are very beautiful at acting. They can cry at the drop of a hat. They can fabricate any type of story that they want, and people will believe that story. But the thing about that is, even if people believe that story, if you're not present, if you're not in existence in that woman's life, whatever she is saying has nothing to do with you. That's going to be clear cut, right, on a whole nother man that decided to be stupidly enough to deal with a woman of that caliber. So, like I said, I leave all the other stuff that I normally say directly to the side, because clearly people know how to conduct themselves, people know how to make the right choices. And, I need to focus on men at the end of the day. So, like I said, men, black men, use this as an example and select better women. Just do that. It's not that difficult. Look in your community. There are clear cut, very beautiful and awesome women that are there, that are not these examples here, that actually have their heads on straight, that are actually going somewhere in life. But for whatever reason, you have a lot of guys out here that just so happen to choose the wrong things. Just stop. That's all you got to do. But anyways, that's it for me. If you want to leave a comment about the disagreements of this video and how I put it up, and you feel like it's just an attack because you're in your feelings, hey, so be it. Write that directly in the comment section below. If you want to also be stupid enough to put in the comment section that, oh yeah, this advice can be applied to black women as well as, them selecting, you can clearly put that stupid comment directly in the comment section below, because I've clearly covered that and I've received nothing but mouth and flack. But hey, you're a woman, you're going to write this. It's cool, no problem. And if you're a guy, you want to happen to share your experiences, go right ahead and write those clear cut in the comment section below. But be forewarned that chances are you might happen to receive some flack just because you're listing your opinion on your experiences. But anyways, let me know all that in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.